You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym. He's a rat. Yeah. He retired, but he stayed in the gym. He can't help it. It's just he don't do drugs. That's his heroin. The gym.
Someone told me this. They say he does not. He doesn't have a vice. Yeah. He doesn't have a vice.
No, he does. The gym.
The gym.
The gym.
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love him before him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting answer.
In a recent interview, Mike Tyson made it clear that he wants to face Floyd Mayweather in the ring. He said Floyd is the opponent he's most eager to fight. This bold statement has caused a lot of buzz in the boxing world, especially since the two fighters have such different fighting styles and compete in different weight classes.
I got a question for you. One question. I am Mike Tyson in his prime versus Money Floyd Mayweather in his prime. Who would win?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I'm probably 50 pounds heavier than Floyd, so I don't think we ever fight. No, we can never fight. We're two.
Because we can only see that in a video game. So I wanted, I wanted to know, what's your thoughts? And also, when you see Floyd now, do he remind you of him? Do he remind you of yourself when you was rocking?
Yeah, to a certain degree, not totally, because he's not menacing. He's not a threat to the fact that he can hurt somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not that guy. You know what I mean? He's not going to hurt somebody. He's not going to go into a store and drag somebody out the store or do something ridiculous.
That you might have done.
Yeah, he's not going to do anything ridiculous like that. He's going to have somebody probably, but only because in a situation like that, when everybody loves you, you appear that everybody loves you. You don't know who really doesn't love you. You know, you're never going to have a chance to be at peace with yourself and to know who you really are, because there's too many people talking to you. Yes, from the outside to everybody, yes, doesn't look good. Yes, doesn't look good what's going on with him right now. You know, we could all be wrong, but from what we're seeing from the outside, things don't look good.
Floyd Mayweather has...
During a revealing interview, Tyson was asked if he sees any of his own style in Floyd Mayweather. Tyson didn't hold back, saying he doesn't think Mayweather is as intimidating as he once was in his prime. Tyson pointed out that Mayweather doesn't seem to strike fear into his opponents the way Tyson used to. This offers a glimpse into Tyson's opinion on how Mayweather impacts the sport of boxing.
Ali, the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights. Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name.
What do you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali?
He's very delusional. If he was anywhere near that realm of greater than Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself.
There you go.
Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he's talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Mayweather has often claimed that when it comes to boxing legends, names like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson should be pushed aside to make room for his own. Tyson didn't agree with that. He called Mayweather delusional and said that true greatness is about more than just performance in the ring. Tyson also pointed out how Mayweather's reliance on security, even for simple things like taking his kids to school, shows a lack of independence. This is a stark contrast to the more public and independent figures Tyson feels are truly legendary.
Let's get back Mike Tyson, because he was on this show just last week, and at the moment he's currently being profiled, as you'll know, on the channel Being Mike Tyson. That airs tonight as well. But on the show last week, he was talking about the fact that you're probably the last of these box office stars. You know, young guys are looking to the UFC fighters as opposed to traditional boxers, but you're probably the last of those box office stars. What do you say to that?
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style, and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punishment.
Mayweather's tendency to compare himself to both past and present boxing stars has led some to think he's overly self-absorbed. His confidence and constant self-promotion sparked discussions about humility and respect in the sport. The boxing world remains divided on whether Mayweather's self-praise helps or hurts his legacy.
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punches.
Mayweather has made it clear that the current boxing era isn't just his time. It's all about the Mayweather brand. This brand is central to his influence on the business side of the sport, showcasing his skill not only as a fighter, but also as a savvy businessman. His focus on branding shows how modern athletes are taking charge of their careers and public images in new ways.
The greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. He's been hit hard maybe 4 times his whole career. Right. You stop and think about how many fights he fought against elite guys. Amazing. Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time.
Yeah. Somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson.
I think Sugar Ray Robinson had somewhere in the neighborhood of 90-plus victories before his first defeat, though. But I think Mike Tyson in his prime, when he knocked out Larry Holmes, when he starched Marvis Frazier, like when he was just smashing everybody, I think he had reached this level that you can only maintain for a certain amount of years. I think if Muhammad Ali had been in the same era as Mike Tyson, he would have been better because Mike Tyson was around. You get better dependent upon who's around you.
Joe Rogan has shared his thoughts on what makes a boxer great, saying that greatness can be different depending on the era and the competition. Rogan's take reminds fans to look at boxers through the lens of the time they fought in, making it easier to appreciate the challenges each era brought to the sport.
This is some real shit. Mike Tyson called me. Floyd was getting ready to go to jail. We at the M Casino. Mike Tyson said, "Come here, let me talk to you for a second." 50. He pulled me outside the door. The nigga pushed the door. Then the door opened. He came outside. He said, "Yo, I used to hate that nigga." The nigga voice changed. It got deep. You know how Mike Tyson is like, yeah. He all the way up here, Tim. He all the way up here. This nigga said, yo, I used to hate that nigga. I can't fuck with you. I said, oh shit. Look, I'm like this. Look. So I'm sitting there going, I got to fight this nigga, right? I'm thinking I might have to fight this nigga. He said, look at this shit, 50. I'm in a fucking Cadillac, right? He pointed to a fucking Cadillac. It was, the shit was fly. It was a Cadillac truck. Yeah. But to Mike, the shit was some bullshit because it was a Cadillac, right? He going, look at me, 50. I'm in a fucking Cadillac. He said, yo, I broke my TV every time that nigga fought.
The tension between Tyson and Mayweather was highlighted by rapper 50 Cent, who recalled Tyson getting so frustrated during Mayweather's fights that he broke his television. This story reveals just how deeply Tyson feels about Mayweather, hinting at the personal issues that may have fueled a rivalry between the two fighters.
Said, Mike Tyson can't stand Floyd Mayweather. He hate that. Now look at this, look. Floyd, the illest. I love him like a brother. The nigga's talented. He is our champion.
Yeah.
For this time period. Like, you watch him, praises him, all that, but he's our champion. You know what I'm saying? So, look, and they're going to do a lot of things, but they're not going to beat him.
No, they're not going to beat him. No.
Until he's too old. When he got to fight, when they finish the money and he got to take a fight, and he's too old, so he take a fight, and he see it, and he throw the punch, they're late. And hit him. Start seeing 3 one time. You know what I'm saying? It start getting crazy. But look, real. Mike told me, look, the first time this had a rape charge. Look, the first time Mike Tyson was charged, well, he had somebody who was claiming he raped him.
Yeah.
Floyd was paying for that bitch lawyer.
What?
At that, he was paying for girls to say Mike Tyson raped him.
Stop, man.
See, why you see him at this present moment, the one that would be the one that be all about the money. It's the money. it hurt him to watch Mike when he was all about the money, and he had the money.
50 Cent also claimed that Mayweather financially supported a woman who had sued Tyson in the late 1990s. According to 50 Cent, Mayweather's financial power may have played a role in making Tyson's legal battles even more difficult. If true, this adds another layer to the already strained relationship between the two.
Against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight, because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World of Sports, and Joe Frazier had been talking about Tyson, that he was in his prime, he had beat Tyson, and so he had his son fight Tyson, and it was an execution. It was an execution.
Is that the one in Atlantic City where it lasted one round?
One round. Hey, let's watch it, because it's one of my favorite fights to watch Tyson, because it's Tyson in his prime where he was terrifying. He was so fast, and he would do angles, and he was bobbing and weaving. You couldn't hit him, and he was just coming at you. And he was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody with him.
Joe, if a fight between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson were to happen today, Tyson, at 58 years old, would still be a dangerous opponent. His physical condition continues to impress, with many praising his strength and speed. Commentator Joe Rogan has spoken highly of Tyson's fitness, saying that his relentless training has helped to maintain much of the power he had in his prime. Tyson's presence in the ring still commands respect, showing that his legendary abilities haven't faded.
So relaxed. Next what I look into the ring, and Mike's pacing the ring with his shirt off. His body, his physique was incredible. His biceps, his chest, his neck, incredible. I hadn't seen him stripped to the waist. Yeah. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, that's not the same 17-year-old boy I met yesterday. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I ran with this morning. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I sat next to on the minibus getting here. Yeah. Then Cuss pointed to one of the big men to get in. He was knocked spark out. I tell people, I say it all the time, I ruined a good pair of underpants at that moment in time. I shit myself. There's no way a 17-year-old should have that power. He knocked a couple more out. I got in, I got battered for 3 minutes, got out. A couple more, got in. Then I was back in again. I'd done 6 minutes with him that day. But the madness in me, George, because I do believe fighters have to have a little bit of madness in them. You know, I really do, and it's not insulting any fighter, but I just believe that there's a bit of madness in us all to fight and to want to fight. Yeah. And I believed in my mind, one day I'll get the better of you. I never did. I stayed on with him for 2 years, and it was probably the makings of me, because I took some serious punishment off that man over 2 years. He made me cry so many times. But psychologically, I believed if I could take Mike Tyson's punishment, I could take anybody's punishment, because he was such a power puncher. He used to speak to my mum on the phone regular, oh, Mrs. Egan, chatting away, and she'd say to him, oh, Mike, thank you so much for looking after my son. But he was minding me as well, even though he was battering me. He was minding me. I remember one time when Sugar Ray Leonard came to the gym. He came to the gym on 2 occasions while I was there. And Mike wanted to impress Ray Leonard because he was in awe of Sugar Ray Leonard, like a lot of fighters are. Yeah. And Mike savagely beat his sparring partners this day.
Joe Egan, a former boxer and close friend of Mike Tyson, recalled their sparring sessions and spoke about Tyson's incredible strength and speed. Egan described Tyson as an unstoppable force who overwhelmed opponents with his power and aggression, making him one of the most feared and dominant fighters of his time.
When you did the exhibition, what did you feel about Tyson when you did the exhibition with Tyson?
Mike Tyson's still the strongest puncher that I ever been in the ring with, ever. At 55 at the time, now I think he's 57, about to be 58. He's still the strongest puncher I've ever been in the ring with. First time he hit me in my chest, I feel like a mule had kicked me in my chest. So if he hits anybody on the chin with a shot like that, they going either out or they going down, especially guys that are not used to being hit like that. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of people like Evander Holyfield and Lewis, these guys are bigger and they can take it, but Jake Paul, I don't think he's going to be able to take that. It might hit him on the chin like that. We'll see, but it's going to be tough. He may surprise me.
Do you think that Mike Tyson was going all out with you, or do you think that he was like a sparring session? I know it's hard.
I think he went all out to the body. I don't think they went. They told us we better not be out there trying to take each other's head off, or they're gonna stop it. So you couldn't go out to the head, but to the body you could.
Oh.
And to the body, he was throwing some vicious body shot.
Wow. So
yeah.
So Jake, I just seen Jake yesterday, and he was 230 pounds. He looked kind of big. Yeah,
Wow.
he was 230, right? I was like, damn, you big.
Well,
like, really
that can
big.
that can make it interesting then.
So, and then he said that he feels as fast as he was at 185 or 90.
Roy Jones Jr., who fought Tyson in a 2020 exhibition match, also praised Tyson's strength, calling him the most powerful opponent he'd ever faced. These remarks reflect the deep respect Tyson commands in the boxing community, showing that his skills and physical dominance remain impressive even as time passes.
People forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter, and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, like as it got later and later in his life, he just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard to the point where you'd see world-class fighters like Sugar Shane Mosley, who did tag him, but other than that, didn't really. Once he recovered, he didn't really know what to do with Floyd. Floyd just had the answers to his style. He had figured him out.
Yeah, and I even see a lot of people because I go by his gym from time to time. You know, it's and I see like a lot of people that are coming up in boxing who just want to right out the gate be what Floyd is now, you know what I mean? Be on the ropes and be able to slip punches and you know, but they forget like the time when he beat the out of Arturo Gatti, you know, to the you know, and was no defense to it. He just came out and was throwing hands. Like they forget all the like amateur fights that he had before that he's won and lost, and you know, he just had a different style of fighting. So it takes time to get to that level, you know what I mean? And certain
that
people
Arturo
get
Gatti
there.
fight was brutal.
Oh, brutal. Yeah. He's a monster. I give him a lot of respect. I do. You know, I mean, not a lot of people do, but
they're crazy.
The man's just being.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more, and until next time,